celebrity makeup artist, Eric, and he is a global makeup artist for Urban Decay. And then this is Lisa. And he's going to teach everyone kind of how to use the products in order to get an amazing look.
Thank you so much. Okay, so Lisa already has her pretty much everyday look on. She does use a brow color. She goes a little bit more heavier on the eyeliner and mascara, has a foundation, and probably a little soft blush on, and she likes like a little neutral gloss. So what I'm going to do is continue that look. I'm going to refreshen her look, by the way, remove her makeup, and then I'm going to give her like Urban Decay look that she could enhance what she does already. So when you have the ability of putting a liner on very nice like she does, it helps me out a lot. But also the fact is, I want her to be able to do what I'm going to do today. So we'll start with the primer. Let me go ahead and clean her skin and I'll be right back. So I just removed her makeup and refreshened her skin with Meltdown Makeup Remover. It gently removes everything, leaves your skin silky soft, and it's actually really nice.
And you can do it without water, right?
You can do it without water, and you don't even need to remove it with water. The skin is soft, it doesn't leave any dewiness to it or any grease residue. Really a great makeup remover for anything that's long lasting or waterproof. 2 of our eyeshadow primer potions. The original below will intensify the color, give you all day for 24 hours lasting crease-proof color. The one above that's a flesh tone, it's called Eden. This is really, really remarkable. It's a great primer. Why? Because some women prefer a little bit more mattification to their shadows. So if you have a shimmer shadow like some of our shadows do, that will actually take it down and mattify. So again, intensify the color regardless of what shadow texture it is, and the Eden above will kind of mattify the shadows that you want less shimmer. It's great. Also great for that lady who has maybe crepey lids, but I'm going to use them both today because they give me 2 different textures and 2 different finishes. So I'm going to start with the first Eden from the lash line to her crease, and then from her brow bone to the crease will be the original. I'm going to take a little bit of the Eden primer. As you can see, it's a flesh tone. A little goes a long way. One of my tips is, if you want a quick, smooth, healthy look, take the Eden primer, and I'm going to use my finger very quickly. Go ahead and close, love. I'm going to apply it. The great thing with this primer is if you're in a hurry, you've got to be a little bit more exact because there is a pigment to it. But it's almost like a concealer that's going to hide any dark lids. So if you want something very smooth and youthful on the lid, take Eden, apply it as so, and really just put a small amount, and from the lash line to the crease. And of course, you know what I just did, everybody, and I make mistakes. I took it to the brow bone, but I'm going to remove it really quickly because we all make mistakes sometimes, so don't worry. I mean, it's fine to be used all over the whole lid as I just applied, but I'm going to take it to the crease, okay? And then I'm going to take the original primer. I'll take it right next. It's more of a transparent cream. Little, again, goes a long way. And I'm going to take that, and maybe even in her brow, because she likes to wear brow color. Whatever's left on my finger, or if you decide to use a brush with it, look up for me, and I look all the way up, and I'm going to drag it right out of the eye. That's when you want to use a shadow to smoke the eye out. Even if you get this over the lashes, close again, I will go over the lashes with the primer, and that will be a nice base for any mascara, okay, when you're in a hurry. So let me go ahead and do her other eye.
Here's the before and then here's the after. And just like he said, even if you're not going to wear a shadow, this is just a great way to cover up any lid color that you don't want showing through.
A long anticipated, awaited Naked number 2. The difference between Naked number 2 and Naked 1, Naked 2 is more cool tone, softer colors. They are rich. You have 3 mattes in here and you have 5 new colors. The Naked, the original one, has more bronzy colors and it's more warm tone. Both warm and cool tones can wear these eyeshadow palettes without any problem. So these are safe colors to wear. You can do a soft daytime look with the first 4. You can also change a look for the middle 4 and then create a look with the last 4. But ordinarily, when you look at the theory of color here, it gives you options to mix products and textures. Also, too, when you're in a hurry, one color works very well. As you know, we have the least amount of binders and fillers, so what you see is going to be what you get. And that's what I'm going to do on Lisa today. Okay, we do have a double-ended brush. These are cruelty-free, they're 100% environmental friendly, they're made from aluminum cans, the handle, and the bristles are recycled plastic bottles. So really what's wonderful is that it is 100% environmental friendly.
And also it's a synthetic brush.
It's a synthetic brush, absolutely.
Which is better.
Now, what I try to tell anyone who's new to Urban Decay is don't go left to right and up and down and sideways with your shadows. Learn how to tap them and work with them. That's really a wonderful way. So what I'm going to do for a softer, pretty look on Lisa, I'm going to take a little bit of the Foxy. It's like a matte base. And I'm going to go over the lid. Go ahead and close, love. I'm going to just go over her lid. You're going to see me work on eyes first, and after I do eyes, I'll do concealer. So I'm going to go very quickly just to set that Eden primer. Remember, primers are intended to hold on to the color, so I like to sometimes base it for a softer look. For you dangerous people, you know what to do. You go directly to the primer with the darkest color possible. That's a great thing to do. Okay, so very simple, very easy. What I'm going to do now in her crease, I'm going to probably take a little bit of Tease. It's another matte shadow, believe it or not. Just set it down. And I always tend to lift the brow a tiny bit. I'm not trying to put too much pressure on it, but just enough to give me a little smoothness. And I'm going to go right into her crease. Kind of, it's like a soft matte color that has a little like a lavender undertone to it. Now I'm going to go into another color. It's called Snakebite. Really rich, beautiful. These shadows can be used moist or dampened with any kind of brush. They have the least amount of binders and fillers. Go ahead and close, look. So I'm going to tap the color. And you know, when you have fallout like that sometimes, that's why it's great to conceal after. Kind of blending the colors together. And again, what's nice about this, she is willing to try something different. The great thing here is she just put a heavy amount of liner. So what I would say is that I'm distributing the color a little bit lighter in other areas of her eye. So she'll use less liner and still get an effect. Super curling mascara. The great thing about this brush, it helps lift, it separates, and this mascara will make sure that your lashes stay curled. So it doesn't weigh the lashes down. So mascaras are so much fun. There's so many of them on the market. So I'm going to put one coat. I know it's really hard. I know. Let's see if she passes the tears or not. Look down a second, love. I know. I'm going to let her relax for a second, okay? And then I'm going to take a second coat. Are you okay, Lisa?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to just take a second coat. And I'm going to wiggle it. Okay. Isn't that close? I sometimes like to have the eye closed and kind of lift the lashes up. I'm actually pressing them against her lid, not too much close, but enough to give a bent. And if you're looking for me.
And that's why you conceal after?
Yeah, and I conceal after because then it gives me a chance to look how the eye is affected. And there's a variety of 24/7 pencils that we have. These pencils are based with vitamin E, jojoba, and cottonseed oil. It gives you a nice creamy texture. It's a great texture to work with, but in 2 to 5 minutes they become waterproof. Do you know that every store that we're in, our Zero black pencil is #1 selling black pencil? Look how small it is. It's a great pencil, by the way. So 2 new colors that we do have is Demolition, and we do have Perversion. But I'm going to grab one of those. Right now, I have both Perversion and Demolition. And what's so nice about the Perversion, if you love our Zero, Perversion is really black, 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 black. Again, it's creamy. You can smudge them. Again, you only have a couple of minutes because what happens after a couple of minutes, it comes into waterproof. So great for humidity, great for swimming, great for oily skin. And Demolition is really a rich, rich, rich chocolate brown that is beautiful. You know, and a lot of things, of course, you know, the viewers know that you can take these pencils, you can smudge them, and also make them look like eyeshadow when you're in a hurry. That's the ability of having a very creamy pencil, but yet the stain power. If you needed to draw it all over your lid and smudge it with your finger and put a shadow right over it, it's a great beauty trick, everybody. But you need something rich and creamy, and again, our 24/7 pencils are pretty good. You're dancing, you're crying of tears of joy, or you're just partying like a rock star. It's a great thing. So I'm using a little bit of demolition under the eye, which has been primed.
You're kind of using it as a shadow, right?
Yeah, and then I'm going to set it with the powder too, just to soften the edge. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking a little bit of that, one of our shadows from the Naked palette, and I'm using a snakebite, which is the one I use in her crease. Look all the way up again. 24/7 concealers. These are fantastic. These have micro sponges. We have 8 colors from light to dark. Micro sponges meaning that they're oil free. They really give you 24/7 hour coverage. Look all the way up. So I'm going to take it right under her eye. This is really great because, you know, concealers are not eyeshadows, but they do act as one. Being that this is an oil-free concealer, I can use it to cover up any blemishes, highlight her complexion. But when I conceal, you'll probably see it in other videos I've done, or even when I'm on television sometimes, I tend to use a concealer very differently. I take it down the bridge of the nose to help secure, and if she has an oily T-zone, absorb that. If she has a red nose, it helps camouflage that. So when I do put a foundation over it, we give her maximum coverage, but yet breathable. She has a very warm undertone. She has a lot of yellow in her skin, but yet she has a lot of pink. So she's that combination kind of skin. So whenever you have a pigment that light follows it, I always tend to put it above the brow. Even though the foundation will cover it, look up for me. Again, this can be done with your finger, but if you make any mistakes, now is the time to erase the mistakes, clean them up. You can stay 2 to 3 shades lighter than her foundation or her skin tone. So in other words, if you really want to shadow that eye and get a really smoky edge to it, or if you're achieving the wing or a lip in the outer corner, this helps you achieve that, specifically when you're going out of bounds of the eye, because you can put shadow all over and then clean it up after. So sometimes just don't worry about the spillage when it drops, because you can clean that up when you have a good concealer.
And do you ever use a fan brush to clean it up?
Absolutely too, or sometimes I'll apply a powder.
Okay.
But you know, when you do a fashion show, you're doing something, you know, where we're all set up, where we can put capes on them and a loose powder. Because trust me, she's here in a store and I put a loose powder on her, guess what's going to happen?
It's going to go everywhere.
It's going to go everywhere. So I'm going to take the concealer and go down the bridge of the nose. And the key there is just to keep in mind that you don't want to look like a raccoon with concealers. We all know panda bears, raccoons. The idea there is you conceal, spread the concealer out to brighten up the complexion. I always tend to go under the lower lip line. She has a sensitive chin, which is great because it's oil free. It will give her coverage. It will cancel all the pinkness. And she can use this concealer anywhere where she needs it, okay? And not feeling that it's creamy or it's going to break her out. Again, the micro sponges will absorb excess oil.
So this is bootycall, and we're putting this kind of in the inner corner?
Yeah, this is softened, using it as a highlighter. So I always advise all of our Urban Decay fans is to blend your shadows, play with them, see which colors work together and what doesn't. And what up for me? And I'm going to be back in a few minutes because I'm going to do the other eye and then we're going to go into complexion. Okay, Lisa has both her eyes matched. I did a very quick look on them, 3 shadows. What Lisa's going to do, Lisa takes care of her own brows, so she's beautiful. And I love the fact that she has her brow color in. So I did fill in her brows. Sometimes we have a good brow side and a challenge brow side. When she's going to leave here today, she's going to figure out a way to get rid of the weight here so she creates a softer angle. This brow is a little bit more of a softer angle here, but I'd like to see another row or 2 removed here, and just take the edge, Lisa. But that practice takes perfection, doesn't it? So you're doing a great job anyway, okay? So take your time. I always find that if you comb your brows up, you can cut them. Comb them down, you can cut them, trim them up. It's a great thing too. Pore perfecting. This is for oily combination skin. It doesn't mean that you have to use a lot of it. And again, you're going to see me use the back of my hand all the time because rather put too much on her face, and you try not to waste it either. So it's always a little bit goes a long way. So what I'm going to do, you could use a brush if you wish, but I'm going to go in the areas. And yes, I did put some of the concealer on. It is not a concealer that has oil in it. So I sometimes mix products together. Her jawline seems to be her oiliness that she has to her complexion. So she needs a little bit of reassurance there. So if she does wear a foundation, it gives her coverage without the cakiness. Because sometimes the complexion, you could, your foundation could change with too much oil on the surface.
Kind of oxidizes?
So always, yeah, it oxidizes. It's always great to use a great cleanser, like an oily face wash for oily acne-prone skin. I tend to love to use serums on an oily skin instead of a moisturizer, just to keep the skin light and breathable. And back to your point earlier, to calm the sebaceous glands down. You wash your face, you put your sebaceous glands in shock, you need to put water and moisture back into the skin. It calms it down. That's why you can splash with warm water and cool it with cold water. It's another great little tip. Okay, we're going to go with mineral makeup on Lisa today, and there's a wide variety of them. I like to see an oily combination skin that may be sensitive in mineral makeup. This does have a sponge. I prefer to use it without the sponge.
Me too.
Okay? It is so much easier. I think the sponge is kind of hectic, and when you're oily, it tends not to look pretty a week after, you know?
Bacteria and all that good
Bacteria and
stuff.
all that good stuff that tends to lay on brushes and sponges. So I'm going to go ahead and take it from the lid. And then I'm going to go very lightly. And I'm going to blend it out. Remember, consider the fact that we do have a concealer on our complexion too. I just want to have the powder dance all over before I add another layer to the areas that may need it. So I rest assured that everything that's on this brush will be distributed through her complexion before I go back into the container. Sometimes be careful when you have your brow color on, you know, the powder can go into your brow color and you've got to start all over. I'm trying to avoid that, okay? So I'm going to go back into a little bit more of the foundation. And this is Dream, a mineral makeup. And I'm going to go right over here. You know, some people have a sleeping side, and one side could be a little bit more sensitive to the other. But again, over a period of 2 to 3 weeks of using this powder on an oily combination skin, you'll find your skin will take on a new light, meaning that you're not covering it with a creamy foundation or a liquid, but it allows the skin to breathe. So
that's good. So it's a lighter application.
It's a lighter application, yeah. But she has great skin. Oily skin is sensitive skin. That's all it is. It doesn't mean that you're weird. It doesn't mean anything. It means you are sensitive.
Exactly.
So, and just think when you get older, you won't wrinkle.
Exactly. That's what I hope for.
It's a very dry lip. And you know, she lives in Portland and she came back here to the Bay Area. Our pencils, our lip liners are really actually very nice. I always advise you with dry lips, put a moisturizer on your lips, get a toothbrush and give it a good scrub sometimes. But lips do react to different temperatures and being on the plane. So just be careful and make sure that you have something gentle, something moisturizing for your lips, because I know in Portland it's that time of the year that it's getting cold there. Lip Junkie to the rescue. We have the Naked. This is great because it's a peppermint infused oil. It has that maxi lip technology. And what's like little water bubbles in here, but they're plumping bubbles. So over like 30 days, you'll get like 30% fuller lips, meaning contours, lines disappear.
Is it a humectant?
Yeah. Okay. It adds moisture to your lips. The great thing is, well, you have to be a junkie. I mean, you have to use it 3 to 4 times a day.
Yeah.
You can't just do once a day, okay? But you'll find over the period use of using this lip gloss, your lips will be more comforted. You'll find that there'll be less peeling. There's no petroleum in here.
And that comes with the Naked palette too,
Yes, it does. It's a travel size, yeah.
That's perfect.
Reach your upper to your lower, please, Lisa.
So this is Score?
Score. It's a Afterglow Lip Blush. You see right there? I mean, lip and cream,
cheek.
yeah.
Okay.
Lip and cheek. You see that? So I'm using a curl one. And I like it over the mineral powder because it gives you that powdery, fresh look to it as well. It has vitamin A, C, and E, and retinol. So those are really great things to help build and nourish the skin. It takes a different color effect over a cream. It takes a different effect on over a powder, which I'm using on Lisa right now. You know, if you look at this whole look, it can be established in about 15 minutes, honestly, because I really didn't go crazy on the eyes. Now to finish, we're going to use the Slick setting spray. We have All Nighter for normal, to Slick for oily, and Do Me for dry. Go ahead, Lisa, close your eyes. This will help control the oils, and you know, for 16 hours. But you know, a great tip and trick here is after you wash your face and you put your serum on, spray your face with this slick. Do your eye makeup, put your concealer on, spray it one more time, and then put your primer and your foundation, and guess what? Go ahead and finish the look. By layering it, will give you more oil control. But remember, she's combination oily. What I would advise Lisa is to find a good cleansing mousse or foam, and to find a serum to calm everything down, and then start layering her slick, put her makeup on, another layer. But she has a Naked 2 look, very pretty, very approachable. It's a very simple look as well. So I really enjoyed myself today. Did you? And I know you have to go today, but thank you so much. I know you're going to be a model on this site right here, are you?
Yes.
Okay, so look for you.
I'll have to get the website.
You're going to look for yourself, and I'll look for you guys too. Until next time, thank you so much. Here's a disc look to you. Urban Decay love.